When Outpost Varnes 9 sent its desperate transmission, everyone expected routine backup. A minor frontier skirmish. The report said, a few alien raiders, a damaged communications grid. Command promised reinforcements within 72 hours. What the officers on Varnes 9 didn't know was that the nearest available unit wasn't a regular detachment of Marines. It was something else entirely. It was a team whose very existence was whispered in the barracks. Soldiers from the Death Worlds, planets so hostile that only monsters survived. They asked for reinforcements. They got Deathworld Legends instead. 1. The Signal. Lieutenant Marrakesh wiped sweat from her brow as the desert sun of Varnes 9 burned through the thin atmo shield. Her unit, barely 40 soldiers, had been holding off the Zytherian swarm for days. Ammo was low. Medpacks were gone. The last defensive drones had fallen silent hours ago. Command says reinforcements are inbound, Sergeant Harlan muttered, half hopeful, half cynical. Mara nodded but didn't believe it. Everyone knew what happened when the Zytherians swarmed. Reinforcements usually arrived just in time to pick through the ashes. Then the radar tech shouted, "Inbound dropship, Vector 85 North. Fast, too fast." Mara lifted her binoculars. The sky tore open. A dropship screamed through re-entry, its hull blackened, its engines glowing red as if it had come straight from hell. Who the hell flies like that? Harlan muttered. The ship landed hard, cracking the sampan beneath it. Its ramp hissed open, and 5 figures stepped out. 2, the arrival. They didn't look like any Marines Mara had ever seen. Their armor was mismatched, scarred, and alive with alien trophies, scales, claws, fangs. Each one moved with predatory grace. Their leader, a tall man with one cybernetic arm and ritual scars across his face, spoke first. Captain Tarek Voss. Deathworld Recon Division. Mara blinked. Deathworld? As in the planets your maps mark with skulls, he said flatly. We're your reinforcements. Behind him stood his team. Kaora, a sniper from the acid jungles of Emoir, her rifle grown from living wood. Dren, demolitions expert from Sethan Prime, a planet where volcanoes never slept. Syrah, medic and predator tamer, carrying a living med-serpent cord around her arm. Rusk, silent heavy gunner from the frozen waste of Nath. Harlan whispered, "Reinforcements? That's 5 of them." Tarek smiled, a wolf smile. 5 is all you need. 3. Deathworld Doctrine. By nightfall, the Zytherians came again, a tide of chitin and screeches under the blood-red moon. Voss didn't order the usual defensive formation. Instead, he walked into the open. "Hold position," he told Mara's stun troops. "We'll show you how Deathworlders fight." Then the desert erupted. Kaora's living rifle spat burning spores that turned swarms into ash. Dren hurled a plasma charge into the dunes, and the ground itself exploded, revealing tunnels as Itherians had dug beneath their feet. Syrah released a med-serpent, which slithered across the battlefield, injecting paralyzing venom into wounded soldiers and enemies alike. Rusk's minigun screamed, a constant roar that tore through alien armor like paper. And Voss, gods, Voss, charged alone into the thickest part of the swarm, his cybernetic arm morphing into a plasma blade that carved through the horde like molten lightning. Within minutes, the swarm broke. Within an hour, the desert was silent again. Mara stood frozen. "You killed hundreds." Voss shrugged. "Hundreds is a warm-up." 4. Legends don't rest. Over the next 3 days, Mara's troops watched in awe and fear as the Deathworlders rebuilt the base into a fortress. They didn't sleep much. They didn't complain. And they treated every piece of terrain like an ally. Voss taught them Deathworld doctrine. If the land can't kill you, it can protect you. Use it. Twist it. Become part of it. By the second night, the soldiers had dug new trenches lined with thermite dust. By the third, Kaora had grown biosensors from Mirren spores that pulsed whenever the aliens moved underground. The once hopeless outpost became a trap, and when the Zytherians attacked again, 10 times stronger, with winged beasts leading the charge, the defenders didn't retreat. They hunted. 5. The turning tide. The battle for Varna's 9 became legend. Reports from orbit showed heat blooms so massive they looked like nuclear strikes. Yet somehow, the base still stood. At the height of the siege, Mara fought beside Voss atop the central barricade. "They won't stop," she shouted over the chaos. "They never do," he replied. "But neither do we." He leapt from the wall, landing amid the alien tide, firing as he fell. Mara followed. For the first time in her life, she felt like a predator, not prey. When the smoke cleared, the Zytherian queen lay impaled on Voss's blade. The swarm retreated, their psychic link shattered. 6. The aftermath. 3 days later, command finally arrived, a fleet of ships bristling with reinforcements. What they found shocked them. The outpost intact, surrounded by mountains of alien corpses. Lieutenant Kesh, the fleet commander, said, staring at the ruins, "How many did you lose?" 4, she said quietly. "All ours. None of theirs." He frowned. "And where are these Deathworld soldiers?" Mara turned, but the dropship was already gone. Only their symbol remained, carved into the sand, a skull surrounded by 5 stars. 7. Legends never die. Weeks later, word spread across the Outer Rim. Outpost Varna's 9 was safe. The Zytherian threat broken. And the rumor began that the Deathworld Legends had returned. They came when hope was lost. They fought when no sane soldier would. They didn't answer to command, or empire, or even reason. They fought for survival, and in doing so, they reminded everyone what humanity really was. The species that refused to die. Mara received one final transmission on a secure channel, voice only. Varna's 9 held. "You did well, Lieutenant. Remember, a Deathworlder isn't born. They are made. Live long enough, maybe we'll call you one of us." Then silence. She looked up at the stars and smiled. For the first time in months, she wasn't afraid.